Good day, beautiful people. I hope your day is going great. If you're watching this video, you've probably been having trouble doing and enjoying art again. Well, I'm here to help you. I started my 3D art journey in 2020 and it was a lot of fun. I was making crappy work and growing and enjoying myself. But over time, because of school, interruptions, even my own laziness, I got disconnected from the joy of making art. Between August of 2020 and the end of 2023, the total number of finished sketches and projects I did was probably less than the work I did in 2020 when I didn't even have my own computer. So believe me when I say I have experience and tips to help you out of your mess. Now, before we jump into enjoying art again, we have to start doing art again. Let's build a habit. Sketching. Many of us are students, work 9 to 5s, or just don't have the mental fortitude to sit down and face our once upon a time friend, now turned enemy. So we need to get into the habit of sketching. So we want to start with as minimal work as possible every day. As a digital sculptor, my idea of a sketch is anything between 30 minutes and 3 hours. So for regular sketching, you'd probably want to start with something like 30 minutes or 1 hour on some select days of the week. Gradually, you can extend it to every day of the week and build a habit. For people who draw or do 2D art, you can pick up a pencil and a sketch pad or just get to your computer and do some practice for at least 10 minutes a day at a dedicated time. Starting off, when you sketch, you should do it loosely. You shouldn't grow attached to the art pieces. When you're starting, you should have in mind that, all right, this is just a sketch. No need to be perfect. I don't need to worry about the details. I don't need to think about working on it more than just today. And that's how it should be. You shouldn't even worry too much about mistakes. You don't even need to post or show anyone your sketches. This is going to help you take away the pressure that you feel when creating art. Now you're building a habit. How do you make sure you're consistent? How do you make sure you keep doing it? How do you make sure you don't slack off and just end up in the same position you started? Well, you need the help of others. This is where accountability comes in. Some people are disciplined enough to look after themselves, but lazy bums like me tend to need a little nudge. So if you're like me, I advise you get in contact with a friend or family member, get them to check up on you regularly. Advisably, this should be someone you see or talk to every day. This way, it's guaranteed that you'll interact with them and they'll have the opportunity to make sure you're keeping up with the new habit that you're building. And you could involve them in the habit. Say your friend or roommate is an artist as well, or he does something else that requires practice. You could build these habits together at a time each day that's convenient for the both of you. Just make sure that this buddy isn't a lazy bum like you and me. And don't forget about community. Various artists have Discord chats you can join to interact with other artists, get prompts, inspiration, or even challenges. It's on that note that the next piece of advice I'm going to give you is this. Please do not frustrate yourself. When working on longer art pieces or even larger projects or art challenges, pick just the right difficulty. Pick what you know is achievable. Do not pick boring work that will be too easy as well. And don't give yourself too much of a challenge. When coming up with an idea for a project to work on, it should be, in most part, something that not only requires, but majorly requires skills that you already have. And then in the minor part, it should require you to build on those skills or learn new skills. And you should make sure it's achievable within the set time frame. The thing is, when we dive into these projects or larger art pieces and we don't do well, it usually affects our motivation the next time we want to draw or sculpt. And you don't want to negatively affect your motivation. So you want to keep getting better. You want to keep enjoying it. You want to keep moving forward. So you want to give yourself challenges that you can overcome. Now, someone might be wondering, What if I just can't enjoy art anymore? Like, what if it's too late? Honestly, I've had those same worries. But let's think back for a second. Before all the pressure of getting better faster, getting more likes on Instagram, getting as good as the other guy, what was it all about? What kept me going? Why did I enjoy making horrible art? What got me started in the first place? Even as kids, we all drew with no worries at all. I remember gaining joy from copying pictures of my favorite characters from shirts, comics, and stuff like that. My drive when I started 3D was the sheer excitement of being able to remake things around me in 3D and the hope of recreating my favorite characters in 3D. I know it sounds childish and all, but sometimes we need that childish drive to keep us going. Back then, I enjoyed watching sculpting time lapses of my favorite artists like Jan Sculpts making my favorite characters in 3D. So it was part of my drive, it was part of my motivation, it was part of why I enjoyed it. So to me, those were the good old days. So recently, in order to get back in that frame of mind, I went back to the old Jan Sculpt videos that I used to watch, and believe me, it did me a lot of good. I'm even thinking about trying to sculpt some of the characters that I hoped I'd sculpt one day. And I know going back to your art roots is going to be different for everybody, but I assure you, if you liked it once, you can like it again. So try to remember how things were, what changed, and try to recreate those same conditions. Now I gotta say, knowing these things and watching video after video on this topic isn't gonna suddenly make you start doing art again and improving. You actually have to start applying what you learn. After this video, close YouTube and come up with your comeback plan. It's not gonna be easy, I warn you. Even I'm not done with this journey. But if you persevere, it'll all be worth it. Thanks for watching this video. Please leave a like if you benefited from it, and if you didn't, tell me why in the comments below. If you know someone who needs to see this, be sure to share it to them. Let's make an epic art comeback this year. God bless you.